Hello everybody, welcome back to Language, Litigation, and Integration Part 105, Casual Conversations 38. Today, what do we got? We got a bunch of talking points, current events. We're responding to Lex Friedman's podcast number 269, nice, with Lee Cronin. Didn't watch much of it, so it's going to be pretty brief talking points. But then probably a story or two. Yeah, I think not super relevant, but some. At least a couple funny ones, or at least a couple interesting ones. So as you can tell, I'm war ready, always. Got to pop out with that Glock out. But again, we're on day 20 or 21, 3 weeks of literal war. I've been making these videos for 3 straight years, going on 4. There's been a math subject sitting on the desk of every chair of every university of this planet for 6 years. Does education limit violence? Yes. So now the entire world, right? We have Putin, and then we have his, security and advisors, his military kind of colleagues, and then the rich oligarchs. And now everyone wants, somehow, either like a coup or like, just dethroning Putin of power from his inner circles, or the Russian people themselves getting tired of it. And the way you do that is changing the sentiment. And the way you change sentiment is improve education. So again, there's blood on 100% of every academic and every professional's hands that is aware of my work. People will literally deny their responsibilities until there is a legitimate war. Insurrection, well, first of all, the Afghanistan war from the United States after a false flag. Then we have an insurrection recently. Then we have a pandemic, now a war. So again, you shit in the bed, go sleep in it. This is humanity. This is us, guys. But we'll get to that. Got some talking points on that. But again, just a bunch of random stuff. First off, we had an active shooter on I-71 that got taken down by police after jumping out of a car and starting blasting. So again, I told you I dated Susan. Literally like right by the road. It was north I-71, this Bale Canyon Road. And this dude's just driving down the road. What's a good afternoon activity? To literally hop out of your car and just start shooting random cars. So that's what we had going on in Columbus recently. I think he got murked by police. I hope he did. I think it's like an added challenge for a gauntlet. Just driving, and I saw a video of just some, bimbo-ass boomers driving down the road, and it's like, oh, Bill, look at that! And it's literally just like a 50, 60-year-old couple just filming this dude just running down the street shooting, and cops are shooting back at him, and they're just like, in the opposing lane, just filming, not trying to get away from gunfire. So again, just clueless idiot after clueless fucking idiot. Driving down 71 North, some dude just hops out of his car and starts blasting. It's a good challenge for a Monday or Tuesday. You never know. Keep you on your toes. It's good stuff. I just watched a clip of the Joe Rogan episode with some Indian dude who's a guru, and they talk about heaven and the concept of utopia. It's the same concept. Again, it's a concept. You can't say what you don't know. Heaven is a state of bliss, right? Ignorance isn't bliss. Heaven is bliss. But it's really just a state of peace for the entire species. And so, typically, my guess is heaven/utopia is euphoria on the personal level, but again, a state of peace at the society level and at the sentiment level. And my intuition is that there was a point in time in the past, maybe the Land Before Time. I know that's a kid show that I liked, but the idea of land before being busy, having timing, keeping track of things, was probably a lot more peaceful. And so, again, over again, 50,000 years of human history, if not extended way more to like 300,000 years. Probably just it's a story being told down to other people about a time of previous peace. That is what heaven means. That is what it is. But that's what's going on there. Facebook and Meta are going to allow for violence posts against Russian soldiers. What do I think? I'm really against it. Again, not like super against it, right? Like I watched a TikTok about a Ukrainian father saying that he's going back to Ukraine to fight Russian soldiers because they killed his son, and he says, if you come here, I'll kill you. That's completely fine and encouraged. But just random people that aren't involved saying, again, you watched me and my own intuition, which was posted even before I knew this. Again, I just said what I would do if I was a Ukrainian. And so, again, because if you really bout it, you don't need cheerleaders at all. So having a bunch of random people, talk violence, again, I really don't think it's going to cause that much violence, but overall, I don't think it's a great idea. Again, unless you're directly involved. Again, if you had a family member killed and you were Ukrainian, you should be able to post whatever the fuck you want. But just random people, again, I'm not like even super against it, but I just don't see how this is going to do good. And could do slight bad. Again, if you have some like random fucking idiot get all hyped up on the internet and then go gets whacked, he just gets killed by the Russian forces. Well, then you have another fucking idiot dead. So I'm slightly against that. I don't think it's a great idea. Wilfred Frost leaves the closing bell. That's tragedy. And now we have closing bell overtime. But Wilfred Frost was an absolute staple on Team CNBC, right? In America, we have Will is a common name, Fred is a common name, Wilfred, it's a great name. Wilfred Frost is leading CNBC. It's absolute tragedy. Jesse Smollett is convicted and sentenced I think it was like it was just a very short sentence. It was like 150 days in jail or something. And they had a courtroom outburst that says, "I'm not suicidal," like 15 times as his counsel cringes. Again, just another example. Like who is going to try to suicide Jesse Smollett? Are you Jeffrey Epstein? Are you running sex scandals with underage children and a bunch of other powerful people are aware of you? Or did you fake a little racist stunt to get some publicity? So I don't really think anyone's going to be trying to suicide Jesse Smollett. Again, just another example of just underdeveloped people. Just outburst, "I'm not suicidal" on a 150-day sentence. Sounds like the type of dude that would fake a publicity stunt. Kim Kardashian says, "Get up and work," and Reddit hates it. And Reddit, again, is the collective sentiment of all the 14-year-old children that can't grow up. I'm not exactly sure. The Kardashian, what's the other, it's like one big family. Kardashians and somebody else. But, yeah, I agree with Kim Kardashian. Get up and fucking work. I saw another post on Reddit today. It was like, people say, we have the same 24 hours. And then it's like, do you have to use public transit? Then you don't have the same 24 hours. Do you have to cook, clean, and run a house? Then you don't have the same 24 hours. I do literally all of that shit. Now, I don't use public transit anymore. But again, I poverty line, I think, was for a single person with like a kid, or just like a single person at all, I think it was $35,000. That is literally what I fucking live on. And again, a lot of my money goes to trying to host my website, buy this piece of equipment, buy this piece of software. And so, if you can make a choice in your life to better your skill set and then make an extra dollar, you live in a world of privilege that I just have no understanding of. And I don't expect to. Shit's never going to stop. Literally, world governments suppress scientific information until there's a war. Nothing is going to change this fucking filth. I've grown up around American families my entire life. They can't care about anything. It's not they don't want to, they fucking can't. And so again, people don't grow up, they won't, so just mock them and hope they fucking die. I got invited to my 10-year state championship reunion. Again, if you want, you can look up the 2012 St. Francis de Sales, or 2011. We won 2011, 2012, but there's a video of me with the winning scoop, and the crowd goes crazy, and they all dogpile on each other. You can see me just walking around like, why are all these weird fucks doing weird shit? I've talked about that before. I've told you several stories about my old coach, Tom Newbert. In the email, they say he wants to reconnect. Yeah, I don't. Again, I told you about the stories about him being like, when's Brad going to come back to St. Francis de Sales? Being clearly aware that people are treating me terribly. Right? The families of Central Ohio neglected me and abused me as a community of people till I literally can't fucking function. My life is terrible, Coach Newbert. Coach, my life is disgusting. It's ruined my relationship with every single one of my family members. I'm not a friend with I never made a single friend in my entire life. All the people I used to be friends with in the baseball team, they use me until it's easy and convenience enough, and then say, well, we're all living our own lives now. So go connect with a bunch of people who literally destroyed my life, who are so immature that they can't even take responsibility for fucking anything. Yeah, I think I'm good on that. Yeah, I think I'm good. So no, if anyone from St. Francis de Sales watches this episode, again, which you'd never support my research, or again, the Diocese of Columbus, Ohio is 100% distributing my research. So yeah, I'm going to go go get honored for playing baseball, but after I unified the natural sciences and I can't publish that, I can't pay $1 million to give a lecture, I can't pay $1 million to give a musical performance, and I go watch the American Country Music Awards, and nobody can fucking sing. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to my high school to say, wow, well, you ran around the bases, you hit the baseball really good, woo, let's honor the fucking team. This country's so fucking disgusting. So, until people attempt to honor me for my scientific research and helping this entire species, I will not even identify with anything else. And once you do that, I will act like, again, dark energy and dark matter are about to solve physics. The false differentiation of 4 forces, there's about to be Brian Keating, and maybe there's a 5th force, maybe there's 69 forces, maybe there's 10,000 quadrillion Ds. And so, and then, again, standard model of particle physics is about to get unified with the ADS-CFT correspondence, anti-de Sitter space conformal space theory of one more dimension, and then yep, that's how physics is going to progress, even though fundamental physics has not changed at all, period, whatsoever, in 60 years. Now, fun fact, forget all that shit, I'm an independent scientist that can verify his own logical proofs. Shit that's just unprecedented anywhere, and yep, well, I'm going to go be honored for fucking winning a state championship game when sports have destroyed this fucking world. I'm pretty much good on going back for a state championship, being honored for a state championship. Elon Musk and his partner Grimes, again, I just don't have her first, I don't know if that's her first, I'm assuming that's her last name, but I just don't even know her first name. They attempt to name their second child, and Elon Musk lives in poverty. Sometimes he won't even replace a mattress with a hole in it. I don't know if that's fucking true in any fucking way. Elon Musk is the weirdest fuck ever. Absolutely the weirdest fuck ever. And then he's offering to fight Putin over Ukraine. Which again, just weird shit. It's Elon Musk's second kid. Second kid's name. Kid's name. Well, he's got more than one, but with this partner. Their new daughter. I love it. This one's at least, you can at least pronounce this one. It's not 14 symbols of 7 different alphabets, 3 symbols, and both mom and dad don't pronounce the name the same. So what's this new name? Their daughter, Exa Dark Cider Rail Musk, and the nickname is Y. Y is a good question. That's a good question. How do you pronounce this last one? What's up with the diphthong? Why we gotta do that? Why we gotta be so fucking extra? Well, why don't they say Grimes' first name? They just say Grimes. Does she just have one name? She go by one name? I don't know. But Exa Dark Side Rail Musk. Now you can at least pronounce that. And then the nickname is Y. Why? That's a great fucking question. So Elon Musk is doing Elon Musk, I guess. Offering to fight Putin over Ukraine. Pretty fucking stupid. I don't think it's detrimental or like antagonizing to Putin, but I doubt he's gonna take you up on your offer there, fucking Elon. Really doubt he's gonna take you up on your fucking offer. And again, remember, the only legacy anybody has is arrogant, selfish baby boomers, Gen X, Gen Z, Gen Silent, Gen everybody. Again, you're just slowing down education, you're killing people, and you don't feel responsibility for anything, and that is fucking everybody. And every bit of humanity has failed in such a drastic and profound fucking way. Again, this isn't 1945 or 1900 or 1910 or 1810 with Karl Marx or 1816 with Karl Marx. This is the beginning of human history for real. The beginning. So if you just want to keep slowing this shit down, man, whether it takes 5 years, 10 years, 50 years, every generation from here on out will look back at you and say, look at my disgusting fucking ancestors for fucking killing people. And worse than that, being so stupid they don't even think that's what they're doing. That is the legacy of every human being besides me. Fuck everybody. But we had another big medical breakthrough. We have border polar disorder now again, and the DSM 69,000 with 14,000 million fake psychological disorders are now identified, along with 17 million different colors and 14 million different whatevers. Complication. Stupid people make things more complicated, and they, again, the practice of psychology is basically just create false diseases to satisfy individuals with human connection and the doctor-patient relationship. This was a big-time celebrity that I've never heard of, Lindsay Godfrey. So border polar disorder is bipolar disorder, which is basically just like having moods, which is basically just like anybody with emotions. And you're bipolar if you don't grow up and learn how to like just understand your emotions. And then borderline personality disorder, which I don't even know what the fuck that's supposed to mean. Borderline personality, like you borderline don't have a personality, so you have a bunch of disorders. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Those are the two great, extremely differentiated psychological conditions. But again, the entire practice of psychiatry is basically fraudulent, and it's just, again, victimhood solidified into an industry. I just keep stagnating with society with doctors with lip fillers. Although Lindsay Godfrey clearly had some lip fillers. So, again, doctors, again, the bottom barrel research, they're not even researchers, they slick back their hair, they get a nice white coat, they went through $300,000 of debt, and now they're the boss. Now they did it from when they were a 13-year-old saying buzzwords like, I'm going to be a doctor, and all their parents jerking off like, oh yeah, my kid's so smart. Now they're going to give you science, and they're illiterate. So that's all good stuff. Then we have the Lex Friedman, number 269 with Lee Cronin. We have the chemistry chair from Glasgow, the UK. They're talking about the origin of life, aliens, which clearly exist, but they're still like lying because they're not allowed to talk about my research or other people's research, but they still want to run a podcast. Lex, you should stop doing your podcast, man. It's theft. It really just fucking is theft, and no one cares. Just no one cares. But it's just past that. Lee Cronin says, the origin of life research is done in good faith. Lee Cronin, no it's not. Are you stealing from me? Yes you are. How's that done in good faith? Well, we're all doing it, so all the cool kids are stealing from Brad, so it doesn't count. But you're demonstrably aware of my research. You take a logical proof you don't understand with millions of theorems that you've never even fucking read, and then you're going to start speaking about something that is my discipline without citing me. That's theft. That's not good faith. That's the opposite of the good faith. So, and then that's directly after saying, until we find life elsewhere. Yeah, okay, again, I did not change my light bulb 4 days ago. Like aliens are regularly coming into my fucking crib, and it's not a weird thing. People watch birds. They like to see birds. And so, again, don't get how to make grown-ass people grow up. It's disgusting. Fuck you, Lee Cronin. Fuck your life. How many alien civilizations are out there? Lex Friedman. I've given direct lectures on this best I can. And then he says, we can't interact with alien life. Yes, we most certainly fucking can. And then he says, and I just have, there's not a lot of different physical limits. One voice, one face. Meaning I just saw on Reddit, a certain type of monkey won't make eye contact with human beings. All right, we can tell a face. Let's just take an animal from this planet that looks drastically different from an anatomical standpoint. Snakes. But they still have livers, they still have kidneys, they still have reproductive organs, and it's a long, slender body. So, are we Lee Cronin says we are absolutely unique, yes. But there's not different physics for anything. Not different physical limits for anything. We'd all have faces, we would all have, I don't know if everyone would have voices, but certainly a lot of people would be able to do vocalization like every single fucking animal on this fucking planet. But a face would be a limit. We'd be able to identify face. That's why on Reddit there's a Reddit thread called things that look like faces. And so they steal my research, they lie about it, we're doing this in good faith, no you're not, Lee Cronin, and then they just spew out shit that they know to be false under the pretense of, genuine scientific discourse. Lee Cronin says, well, when he says we're absolutely unique, he's literally stating the infinite biological uniqueness. Yes, but so is every other species, so is every other individual, and the physical limits are not that different. What is the role of humor? To identify inconsistency and irony. Quote, we don't qualify to speak to the aliens, Lee Cronin. False, you guys do not qualify to speak to the aliens. I speak to them quite a bit. Quote, I haven't seen anything convincing about the UFOs. I have given you the direct experimental procedure to visually confirm the existence of extraterrestrial fucking life. You just have to put water on a vibrating plate at different frequencies, take pictures of the intersections of the light, of the momentum, and it will resolve into an alien being, and again, the shadow cannot come from anywhere besides a different place. That is directly how you communicate, and if you want to lie about that, then don't do these podcasts. The thing that makes me the most mad is not you being stupid. Again, You people are so kicked out of science, it's not even fucking funny. But you could say no to doing this, Lee Cronin. Lex Friedman wants to have me on a podcast. Well, we've been lying about the global state of scientific research for 6 fucking years. I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to fucking do it. But nope, Lee Cronin, again, he's got his hair slicked back, about $3,000 worth of gel in his hair. He's going to go have an intellectual discussion done in good faith. I haven't seen anything convincing about the UFOs. You can't convince stupid people of fucking anything. You can't convince scientists who are completely illiterate that think they're scientists of literally fucking direct empirical evidence. It can't be fucking done. Turned off the video at 1:16, and I will be not watching anymore about anything in biology. I might tune into a history one, but fuck Lex Friedman and fuck Lee Cronin. So then we got time, because I don't have many more stories left. But again, as long as I keep existing as a scapegoat without publication, the stories will keep on coming. But since I got invited to a high school reunion type of thing, I'll tell you a high school reunion type of story. And this will be our 10th year. I want absolutely nothing to do with anybody from Central Ohio. You guys are fucking freak shows. But I went to the first one, because again, this was 5 years ago. This was our 5-year reunion. Because again, I have legitimately no friends. And since the 5-year reunion, anybody at San Francisco Sales, I've not had a single genuine, respectful conversation with another human being. And again, I'm not around people much anymore. Like again, my Christmas story. That shit replays in my head every single fucking day. Not because I care, because I don't have genuine, respectful interactions. Like at all. My life is just absolutely fucked. Absolutely no chance for a fucking difference. Nobody's mature enough to change their behavior. Nobody feels responsibility for anything. Enjoy your fucking war, guys. But I'll give you a story about that. So, probably was 28 or so years ago, several years before the 5-year reunion, and I was living at the Big Bird House, Framby's, that you can see on my Instagram if that's still up. But that time in college. And so, again, living with 5 or 4 different people, 5 including myself, people always coming in and out. And so, one day, again, my old friend Jack's bong goes missing. Like 420 blaze it faggots, like bongs. So it goes missing. And I wasn't even it was from the house, but again, it wasn't my bong. Don't really care that much. I mean, really not really even involved in the situation. Certainly selling weed at the time, but my buddy Jack is like, we know who did it. We'll call him Steve 1 and Steve 2. And so Steve 1 and Steve 2, they're my buddy Jack and everybody else all the beta male fucks who would never stand up for anything themselves. And again, at the time, I'm still pretty strong now. I was like 182, 183 at the gym, in good shape. Again, I can eat dinner fine, but again, I just can't eat when I want to. Again, I've been socially isolated to the point where I can't satisfy basic biological functions, in direct violation of pretty much every law that's ever been written in this country, and in direct violation of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. But again, I eat dinner fine. Again, I would just like to be a little bigger. Like I don't care about having defined abs. I would easily bulk to like 190, 195, maybe just 190. But again, just the dignity to sit down and eat a meal when I fucking want to, because I can't do that because I don't feel safe, because I don't have human rights. It can't resolve because 9/11 enforced the fucking law. But Steve 1 and Steve 2, for whatever reason, my buddy Jack either heard about it, either they were bragging about it or something, but they're like, call him out. So I called him out, just like, hey, fuck you guys, you don't want this shit, stuff like that. But again, I really wasn't involved. Like I really didn't care. But again, it was just like, I hate dumb shit. So I was like, why the fuck would I not? At the time, I was kind of friends with these people, so why not stand up for them? But again, don't do that. Complete waste of time. They'll just manipulate and use you until it's not convenient and easy anymore. But then, so I called them out, and they're just like, no, we didn't do it, no, we didn't do it, no, we didn't do it. And then I had 2 other friends. We'll call them, doesn't matter. They had nicknames. They were Critter and Pops. And so anyone that knows the story will know who those are. And Steve 1 and Steve 2. We'll get to the part where you told Critter and Pops that you took the ball. But, so again, that was really it. Again, I really wasn't involved. I was literally on a skiing trip with my family at the time, just calling them out, trying to get this bong back. And so, come back, that's just it, they just deny it, and I'm just like, I told my buddy Jack, I don't care that fucking much, like I tried, no one cares about anything. And so, 5 years ago, I go to the 5-year high school reunion, and again, like, when people say, like, only God can judge me. Again, really, that's a really historical reference. But there's just a level of intelligence where I can just, again, I'm more aware of human behavior than I am of logic, and I list logical proofs faster than I can write them down. And so Steve 1 and Steve 2 come up to me, and I was kind of friends with one of them, and again, really not like not like enemies or like against them. Again, my high school class wasn't like super like cliquey or anything like that at all. And so Steve 1 and Steve 2 come up to me, and Steve 1, the guy I was really interacting with, because I think Steve 2 was the one who took the bong, but they're both covering for each other. They both come up to me and completely unprovoked, they're like, "Don't you remember that one time you thought we stole your bong?" And they're doing it in like a light, playful way, to be like, "Oh, let's like laugh and recollect about the past." And again, at the time, I didn't give a fuck. It wasn't my bong. I wasn't really that far involved. I was just trying to get the shit back because at the time I was kind of friends with Jack. And so, and so, like literally, again, not even expecting them to bring this shit up whatsoever. I literally just respond, "So did you?" And just the viscerality of them lying, it was honestly fucking funny to me. But they just go right back to denying this shit. I guess it's like, I don't care at all. But it's funny to see people lying, because Steve 1 and Steve 2, you didn't smoke with Critter and Pops and directly told them you stole it? I was good friends with them too. You think that was going to get back to me? And so I don't care, but hilarious to see people, again, lying about shit I hadn't even thought about in years. First thing they come up to me is like, "Oh, Brad," because at the time, again, no one's published my paper, but people know I've done stuff, and my life is whatever people say it is behind closed doors. So at the time I was a mathematician. Not a guy with an infinite H index, but just I solved some open math problems or something. And people can't open their mouth without demonstrating proofs that I put on the internet 3 fucking years ago. 3. Well, the paper 6 years ago. Videos for 3. And so Steve 1 and Steve 2 didn't give a fuck then, didn't give a fuck now. Hilarious to see you keep trying to lie about it. But that's the story for today. I only got 1 or 2 more stories if they ever become appropriate, and they're just random shit. There's one other funny one I'll tell sometime. But thank you for watching Language, Litigation, and Integration Part 105, Casual Conversations 38. Remember, if you're in Columbus, Ohio, you gotta pop out with that Glock out. Pow, 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 pow. Well, welcome to Columbus.